So for this channel's first vid, I wanted to make it clear that this channel was going to have opinionated videos where I either praise or bitch about a company I love dear for things that cause me to have ideas or feels for, whether positive or negative. I was thinking of making first impressions on the League of Nations, but I waited too long to write it during the first week, and damned if they didn't shoot that horse dead before it even hit the racetrack. Why does this faction even still exist? I want to talk about the Divas division, but they keep pushing themselves into a deeper corner, darker every week, and it just gives a headache to write about, although I do plan writing about it at some point, and the WWE seems to finally be going on the right track with Charlotte and Becky. So let's get something that makes the ball rolling, and that's Finn Balor's demon gimmick. First time they debuted the demon gimmick on NXT, I loved it. Although the word demon never came to mind when watching it, I more so saw a guy who was going into battle with war paint on to scare the ever-loving shit out of his opponents. It worked perfectly with his music, but I never thought anything more than someone who's willing to go the extra step when it counts for the matter of psychological warfare. So consider me confused when they started throwing the word demon around and talking about how it brings out this other side of him. Already you should be having ideas. Could this character be entirely different with a different moveset than the Finn Balor we know? Could this be possibly a different character altogether? Could he be a tweener with more so heel, but we cheer for him anyway because we cheer for that Finn Balor the rest of the weeks? Well, stop getting ideas in your head because none of that matters. He's just Finn Balor, with some pain, and is unstoppable for some reason. Now first things first, I do see changes when he has the paint on as a demon and when he's just wrestling as Finn. The demon gimmick has him sometimes with his knuckles and the tips of his toes ready to pounce. He'll growl at times and look like he's just an animal that just got out of the cage, being told to attack the person in front of him, and that's all fine and well. But it doesn't exclude the fact that most of his match, he's still just Finn Balor. And it's not all his fault, it's performance art, and it's hard at times to be fully 100% in character and as someone completely different. There's also the fact that after his matches, he acts like regular Finn Balor, with some sweaty mascara all over himself. Now, I'm not saying he should be like how Corporate Kane could change into Demon Kane back in September and October, or Luke Gallows' old gimmick Festus changing into a monster whenever the bell rang, but there is that Randy Orton who hears voices in his head style that could have worked for Finn when it came to his demon gimmick. Or like I previously said, on how Demon Balor should maybe be a heelish character. It reminds me of Yugioh, and if you don't know the actual show, it's about a kid named Yugi who plays this card game and has this other side of him through a medallion, which releases this pharaoh in the most important matches. The pharaoh just seems like a more intimidating and fiercer opponent. There are times when the kid Yugi disagrees and even battles with the pharaoh's decisions, showing a clear difference in character even though they look the same. At some points it even causes Yugi to decide not to use him, fearing of what the pharaoh would do, and this is the sort of character development in which Finn Balor could use, to somewhat turn tweener heel as a demon and cause Finn Balor the man to question his interest in himself. It could almost be like how Cena would constantly be lured with the idea of letting himself loose and becoming heel. Finn Balor could do that in a match and try to stop himself, and then have that question over his head for a good while. Can he control the demon? Another anime that could be good research for the Demon Balor character would be Naruto. Naruto is a boy in training to become an elite ninja and hoping to one day be the protector of his town. He is pure at heart and has that no-give-up attitude that many of the main stars have. Inside of him, though, is a fox demon that at times channels its energy. This was a concept that helped him for bigger battles that he wasn't ready for at the time, but it helps with powers manage to get some of the best fights out of him, helping him become a better fighter as well. Although as time went on, just like Yugioh and the Pharaoh, he began having trouble keeping control. As Finn Balor progresses, he should at times not feel the need to do the demon gimmick, for a few reasons. The main one being that when he gets on the main roster, he won't or shouldn't wear the makeup out on every pay-per-view. He should start showing that he's growing stronger as a person without the need to turn on the Balor side of him. What's the hard part in all this? That the demon gimmick has been a live event special in itself. The fans want to be a part of that demon entrance. And to credit not being really given where it is, Finn Balor has been working on making his non-demon entrances feel just as important as well. With the cool look and lighter persona on it, with the colors and even the way he presents himself, he needs to work hard on the audience loving his Finn persona just as much as his Balor persona. Live audience wise, he's working well on it, but as far as TV goes, it's a much steeper climb. Anyway, I'm not saying that these are the answers for Finn Balor to develop further, but these are things to think about and look into when working on the construction of Finn Balor. It's an awesome entrance that the company seems to be leaning on more to keep Balor interesting, rather than give his character actual character. His feud with Joe started showing more emotion, but we need more of that. And if they keep on acting as if Finn has a demon side of him, they have to do more than just rely on him painting himself up for it not to get old. It's been over a year with 6 TV appearances by the demon side of Balor. While the undefeated streak gives the paint job some significance, I like to see the story give some more significance as well.